Ladies and gentlemen, this is DVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Overnight, Russian troops carried out a massive drone strike on the city of Okhterka in the Sumy region, as reported by the local police. According to Ukraine's Prime Minister, at least 14 people were wounded in the attack. Earlier in the night, Russia launched a massive drone strike on the southern Ukrainian region of Odessa, injuring one person and sparking a large fire at a fuel and energy facility, according to Ukraine's State Emergency Service. The Izmail District Administration reported that port infrastructure in the city was also damaged. Meanwhile, in eastern Poland's Lublin province, which borders Ukraine, an unidentified object fell into a cornfield and exploded overnight in a village in Osimi. The blast shattered windows in several homes, but no injuries were reported. Police found burnt metal and plastic debris at the site. Local police spokesperson said officers are working to determine what the object was. Now to the front lines. According to official data, Ukraine currently controls about a quarter of the Donetsk region, roughly 6,600 square kilometers. Within this territory are two of the largest cities still under Ukrainian control, Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. For Vladimir Putin, taking full control of the Donbas remains a central goal of the war. But analysts suggest the real challenge lies in Ukraine's so-called belt of fortresses. Now, this is a 50-kilometer stretch of fortifications running from Sloviansk and Kramatorsk down Zhukivka and Konstantinivka. It is a defensive line that blocks Moscow not only from seizing the entire Donbas, but also from threatening deeper regions of Ukraine. Since the fall of Bakhmut in 2023, Kyiv has reinforced this line with bunkers and trenches, minefields, and anti-tank obstacles. Former German Defense Ministry officials noting that capturing this belt of fortresses could take Russia years and cause enormous losses in both lives and equipment. In September 2024, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov dismissed reports of Iranian arms supplies to Moscow as fairy tales. He claimed that if the United States invents numerous stories every day, accusing Russia of every imaginable sin, it only shows that they do not like Russia as a competitor on the international stage. But independent Russian journalists from the outlet Medusa presents a very different picture, citing evidence that Moscow has been purchasing weapons from Tehran. According to data analyzed by the non-profit organization C4ADS, which specializes in global security issues, Iran may have shipped more than 4,000 tons of ammunition to Russia in just 1 month of 2024. The findings are based on transportation records provided by an anonymous source in the logistics sector. The documents cover state-run railway container shipments between November 1st and November 28th of 2024. In that short period, Russian railways move up to 4.61 thousand tons of cargo labeled as explosive materials. Analysts note that this is a terminology Russian military paperwork often used for arms shipments from Iran or North Korea. One of the cargo trains left the port of Olia on November 10th of 2024. Earlier that day, a Russian cargo ship named Port Olia 1 docked there. The vessel regularly crosses the Caspian Sea between Russia and the Iranian ports. The port of Olia has become a key hub in the Russian-Iran transport corridor. Through it, the two countries exchange grain, lamb meat, and, according to Bloomberg, weapons. From Olia, containers labeled as explosive materials were then shipped to railway stations in Koluban, Volgograd region, and Lukovsky from North Ossetia. Both sites contain large ammunition storage complexes that supply Russian forces. Ukraine, in turn, has repeatedly targeted every link in this Iranian supply chain. On April 18, 2025, Ukrainian forces struck the port of Olia. On August 15 of 2025, they hit the vessel Port Olia 4 while it was docked there, reportedly loaded with ammunition from Iran. In May 2024, a Ukrainian drone strike derailed a train carrying weapons to Kobulan, and on November 2023, local media reported a massive explosion in the same port that allegedly destroyed an entire train full of shells. Ukraine's general staff openly states that the targets of these strikes are, quote, Iranian missile convoys bound for Russia. It has become publicly known that Ukraine has begun serial production of long-range wing missile called Flamingo with a declared range of 3,000 kilometers. Now that distance is about twice the range of the current Tomahawk Block 5, which flies more than 1,600 kilometers. According to published specifications, the Flamingo can stay in the air for more than 4 hours, reaches a top speed of nearly 950 kilometers per hour with a cruising speed close to 900. Its maximum takeoff weight is about 6 tons and carries a warhead weighing around 1 ton. Now with this large airframe, fixed straight wing, and an engine mounted above the fuselage, the Flamingo resembles a classic heavy cruise missile. Given its announced characteristics and design, experts said that there are no real analogs. Recently, the first footage appeared showing Flamingo cruise missiles launched from ground-based installations. The city of Dobropillia remains under constant fire from a Russian multiple launch rocket system and airstrikes, creating a critical situation for civilians. Daily shelling not only endangers residents, but also disrupts the stable operation of the city's infrastructure. Video from the scene provided by Yevgen Takchev shows how movement around the town is hampered by destruction and the constant threat of enemy artillery and aircraft. Takchev and his team are working to evacuate people from dangerous areas, helping civilians escape and saving lives under critical conditions.
Якось негостинно зустрічає рідне Добропілля. Ой-ой-ой, досталось місту. Ого, палає прямі влучання. Будемо рятувати людей з Божою допомогою. Ну, а хто ж його душить? Никто не будет. Тут он много домов. Раз попал. И вот свежий. Главное вовремя смыться. Господи помилуй. Господи благослови помочь людям. Если такие есть. Защити, сохрани, Господь Бог, великий, святой и праведный. Господи, Господи, благо милости во имя Твое, Отче. Господи, 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 шо тут, кто тут, как тут? Боже, 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 Боже. Ну, тільки лінивий не знімав відосик біля цього жахіття відпрацьованого. Отаким жахають по Добропіллю росіянці. І навколо ж тільки мирна цивільна забудова, квартальчик. Мешкають люди. Якось так.
And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.